Hello, my friends, and thank you so much for coming tonight to our 81st program of SanctuaryOnline. And I am going to welcome everybody right away and start by sharing our screen and just saying, hey, thank you for tuning in tonight. And Kevin, thank you for helping Bill there get all folks on his screen. If you're able to enable your video, we would love that because we're going to have quite a conversation tonight. And again, that way, if you put yourself in gallery view, it kind of looks like we're sitting around having a focus group. And we really appreciate that. Tonight, we're going to do quite a bit in the chat room. So if you're on a phone or maybe an iPad, that might be a little more challenging. So don't worry about that. We will figure it out. Okay. And then just reminding you of the text feature, Barb sent out this afternoon. If you'd love to get a text from us on Tuesdays, then just put your cell phone number in the chat room. Barb scoops that up and we'll send you a chat. The recording of this is going to be on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page. And I really want to draw your attention to our email, because if I have a feeling about tonight, I feel like not everyone is going to be able to say everything. And so we're going to encourage you to maybe fire off an email to us. And the best email to use is our group email here at Sanctuary. It's called talktous@sanctuaryinthewoods.com. So tonight is kind of a focus group, big on the ish of a focus group, but we really are coming to you and we so appreciate you showing up tonight. It's your voice matters. And we really are looking to see what you have enjoyed of what you've seen and how to help us craft and shape ourselves and SanctuaryOnline going forward. Just a quick reminder that next week is the February book conversation, and this is not a quick book to read. So if you're behind, make a project plan. And then if you don't finish it, show up anyway. You know the conversation is always worth it. And this book has stirred up a lot of conversation around our table. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, The Code Breaker. It is something else and very relevant, very current. Great conversation. I cannot wait for next week. Also, I'm not going to go through all this in detail, but I do want to let you know that we're going to cook for Mardi Gras. We've got some Cajun cooking coming up, our second Sanctuary feature on March 1st. And then we have this amazing series for Lent called Saints Are People the Light Shines Through. If any of you are CLM graduates, that might tweak your memory a little bit. It's one of our just most wonderful, most talked about, most feel-good conversation about saints being people who have shined a light into our lives. And we're going to go through a few weeks of that. We're also going to actually have Seder dinner at Sanctuary in the Woods during Holy Week, so on April 12th. And all this will be emailed out to you every week. But I do want you to know we do have programming up through April. So don't stress yourself tonight. You are helping us out, and we're incredibly excited for that. We really appreciate that, but we're okay. We have programming planned, is what I want to tell you. Oh, so here's how the evening is going to go. We have a lot of ground to cover. Here comes Brendan in. So we've got a lot of ground to cover, and I want to keep it to the topic of SanctuaryOnline. Okay, so we're not talking about anything else except really kind of programming that you have seen or would like to see at SanctuaryOnline. And if I have any memory at all of us, and I do, we love bunny trails. Can I get an amen? A hanky? Somebody tell me. Thank you, Kristen. We chase a lot of bunnies, my friends. If that happens, I'm going to try and gently but firmly, lovingly but firmly bring us back down the path that we need to walk tonight. So just a little bit of warning. And also, when you're sharing, we'd love kind of concise comments so we can capture them, but also so many people get a chance to share. Okay, so our goal tonight is to get your honest perspective on the programming that we've put up in our first 80 shows. Okay, if someone doesn't start to applaud there, I'm concerned. Can I get, come on. Yeah, thank you, Jane Ann. 80 shows, who would have thunk it? When we first attempted this, as a whole bunch of old people who are computer challenged. So anyway, we've put up quite a few different shows, And we also we're going to ask you about those shows. We're going to also ask you about programming into the future. So open hearts, open mind. You can't hurt our feelings. We have lots of data. We need you to help us interpret it. Got it? We have lots of data. We need you to help us interpret it and give us some of the feels. So let's see. I said that. So keyboards ready? Okay, the first question we're going to ask you is, we'd like you to, in the chat, type in your favorite sanctuary program. And I'm not giving any hints, just loving on you. What comes front of mind?
Yeah, shoot.
We got some votes for sexuality.
Yeah.
Book club and CLM. The kitchen, Kevin. Something current, right? Book club. Advent, Lisa, absolutely. Kristen, all the various religions, how they're all tied in, right? How they're actually so much alike and yet wonderfully diverse. Homosexuality Bible. And the one with Papa Ken's friend. That was Steve Peters, Mandy. Good vote, girlfriend. That was amazing. Lent last year, human sexuality. Would anybody like to share why they're choosing the program that they're choosing? And you can just unmute yourself and jump in. And the rest of you, if you're keeping on trip experiences, Lisa, cool. Anybody like to share? Go ahead, Lisa.
I think the reason that I put the spiritual in there, but it really translates for me or resonates with me, the challenging some of my conventional thought. And so I think that's why the spiritual, but really all of the programs, all of the learning. So.
Yeah. Thank you. So challenging, sometimes we try always. It's kind of like in CLM. We'll meet you where you are, and then hopefully stretch you in some way, some form or fashion. Barb, I'm assuming you're on the computer taking notes. Yes? Can I get a yes, Barb? Cool. Good enough. And Kwanzaa. Yeah, absolutely. Sexuality in the eyes of Tammy Faye. Fantastic. Anybody else want to choose another answer to why that was their favorite show? Anybody at all?
I'm always seeking information and something that I don't know about. And so I like them because I learned a lot that I didn't already know.
Yeah, thanks, Janice. So sexuality, religions, and book club. So you're kind of loving all of it. Your hair looks great tonight too, by the way. And you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Anybody else? Or I'm going to go ahead, Cynthia.
I like all the shows where we learn new things. The sexuality show, human sexuality, the way it was set up, I loved it because I've taken, the clobber passages education stuff for years. Yeah. And I love that. And I've got to know it. We all have to know it. But this was more expanded. But I guess, in fact, I've been awful busy today. And I wanted to make sure I got here because I really had a strong feeling about this. I'm in 2 other book clubs and I watch cooking shows all the time. And while I think this group does a good job with both of those things, and I would not like to see them dropped completely, but I would like to have from this group unusual learnings that I can't get elsewhere.
There you go.
So that's what I'm voting for. Now, if I had my way, we would still do the food things, but maybe once a quarter instead of once a month. Because if you get it too regular, it becomes kind of mundane. And it turns it into a cooking club sort of. And as I said, I really love that. I got all the notes and now I see, thank you for sending all the detail. But that's my strong point I want to make tonight. I love it when you do anything we can't get elsewhere. I would like to see CLM run again and flushed out a little bit more. I think you do that excellently. I've told, when friends ask, what did you do on the Zoom? You know, I always state that. So that's just one thing I wanted to pass on.
No, loud and clear, Cynthia. Thank you. And that's the perfect kind of feedback that we're looking for as what we've done and what we're shaping. I really appreciate that. So I have a second question. I'm going to post it in the chat, but I'm wondering, and you don't need to post it in the chat. This is more of a conversation. But is there anybody who's ever actually missed a night and then gone to either the Facebook page or to our YouTube channel and watched a recording? Anybody?
Yes.
Give me some thumbs up. You can go down to your reactions. You can give me a heart. You can give me a party hat. You can give me a thumbs up. Whatever feels good. Bud, you can do it because you have a thumb. I got you, buddy. So when you've done it, how have you done it? I'm curious if anyone's actually watched the whole thing, or you're 5 minutes in, you're like, oh my God, it's a recording. I'm not doing this. Anybody just go ahead and share.
Well, I've done it a day or two after because I had to miss this for some important other reason. And so I, just went to YouTube and found it, and I was really glad. I felt like I was at the session itself.
Perfect, Cynthia. Thank you. So Cynthia went to YouTube. Anybody ever go to the Facebook page and just grab it from there? Or
No, the YouTube channel.
I go to YouTube when I look for it, YouTube.
okay. And anybody use Barb's email that she sends out so you can click straight through to the YouTube?
Oh yeah, that's how I get there.
Yeah.
I do.
Easiest way. Thanks, Barb. So there's still some.
In fact, I'll say, because there's so many sanctuaries on YouTube, I've used like the most recent email to get to the most recent video to get to the Sanctuary YouTube page to find the old video I want.
That's good.
The email is everything.
Well, and
Aren't you subscribed to their email? I mean, to their YouTube?
oh, you could do that too, Kelly. Thank you, Kristen. Good
I don't
idea.
know. Good
Yeah.
question.
So next time
Maybe
you
I
go,
am.
Mine that way.
next time you use
Then
all
you
those
gotta
email
click.
files and you plow right through, there's a little bell on the right hand side on the bottom underneath the video. Click subscribe and you'll be good to go. Then actually when we post things, I think you get a little notice. Is that right, Kelly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you have notifications on,
But if you don't, when you go in YouTube, if you go into notifications, I mean, like I don't have mine pop up on my screen, when a new one gets loaded, but I can go in there and click on the little area that says notifications, and it'll list everybody who loaded a new
no more.
video.
Okay. Thank you. And Mandy, thank you for being honest. She says, I watched the whole thing so we won't get mad. I appreciate that. Just to let you know and give
Sorry.
you some relief, Mandy, we actually can't see who sees it. We can see how much they watch, and we have all sorts of data on that, but it doesn't tell us who. So thank you for fessing up that you're one of those people who watch the whole thing every time because you feel like you should. So I appreciate that.
So I watch live and I watch all the recordings since that's the case.
Lisa, there's something on your nose.
Thank you, Lisa, for the integrity check. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I knew you were going. All right, I've got another one in the chat. What are the programs that you hate to miss? And see if you can be a little specific for us here. We asked for your favorites, but this is a little bit different. Which ones would you hate to miss? Which ones might you actually go and watch that recording? And the more specific here you can be, the more we appreciate that.
I don't know if this is as specific as you want, but when you have a series that's 3 or 4 weeks,
Yep.
if I miss the second or third week, I'm more likely to go watch it because I know how it started and I know there's more to come and I don't want to miss the middle. So anytime I think that there's a series,
Yeah.
if I have to miss the middle, those are when I go back and watch them. If it's a one-time only thing, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, thank you. We're gonna have a couple of questions about series here shortly. So, all right, so that's great feedback. Anybody have feedback similar to what Kristen just shared? You know, what you're doing there, Kristen, is you're giving us the why you hate to miss those ones, right? So if you do, the fact that we go to the trouble of having the recording is appreciated. Gotcha. Anybody else? I guess that's the same thing from Lisa. We're making sure everyone has voice tonight, folks, so jump in, or if not,
I definitely go back when it's something educational.
when it's something educational. Yeah, thanks,
Mhm.
Kelly. All right. All right, this is exciting, my friends. We are going to do a poll, okay? So let me pop this up. And oh, here's a good question from Barb before the poll. Barb's saying to everyone, when you go and watch a recording, do you kind of skip through straight to the content piece, or do you enjoy the whole hour? You can't hurt our feelings, just tell the truth.
I play
enjoy
the whole thing, but when I watch a recording, I multitask. I don't pay as much attention as when I'm live.
Ruth, hold on. Kristen gets a hanky. Okay, absolutely. A little bit of multitasking going on, which is probably going on right now for half of you. So I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
Barb, exactly.
You know, my God, it's normally going on with me, Kristen. I'm the doggone host. All right, so here you go. We're gonna set up a poll, and this is a multiple choice poll, okay? Which means you can each choose up to 2 answers. Honor system, you can choose 1 question or 2 questions, but this poll is saying, which of these program types hits that wouldn't miss list? We've got Meet the Artist. If you remember, that was Edie and Jason Hanna and Shelley King and Amy McCarter, Kamila. It was the monthly book club. CLM, we had a series last Lent about a year ago, 4 different facilitators. Human sexuality or the Bible and any other educational programs, I'm getting no votes. There you go. Culture.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do I have to pick just one? I'm
You
sorry.
can pick 1
oh.
or you can pick 2.
2.
But I'd like you to only pick 1 or 2.
Okay.
Okay?
Where does this poll show up? I don't see it.
It should have popped up in the middle of your screen and blocked everything else.
Didn't.
Scoot around, Kevin. It should be there because you're not a co-host or anything. No poll, Kevin?
No poll.
No,
right.
I didn't get it either.
Kevin?
Kevin, throw it in the chat box if you're not getting the poll. If you don't mind.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what the choices are. Oh, there it is. Joby put it.
Thank you.
I've got 10 of 15 people so far, 73%. So we'll get 11 with Kevin. Anybody else have a challenge? Or haven't hit the submit
Yeah,
button?
this is. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Brandy said she couldn't find it either.
Brandy, if you can't find it, go ahead and put it like Kevin did in the chat box. Just give me a number there. Perfect, thank you. All right, thanks. There we go. Gary, right?
Yes.
Thank you. I know that some of these things feel like, you know, Seder might be also spiritual, Kwanzaa might be spiritual. We were trying to figure out how we kind of dissect the different programming. Is it educational, inspirational, religious programming, cultural programming, social programming? So welcome, Glenda. And thanks for that comment, Brendan. All right, are you ready to see the poll? I'm going to end it. And I should be able to share the results. So a lot of folks enjoyed CLM, big on the education there, especially if you were new to us and to CLM. And then spiritual programming, Advent or Lent, which is normally a series where we combine community conversation, we combine education, and we also have a spiritual component, you know, a seasonal spiritual component to this. And then right behind that, education and Ken's human sexuality and the Bible. All right. Thank you, thank you. Let me see where we are supposed to be right now. Oh, I think we're on schedule. Kind of scary. Anybody want to comment on?
I do.
Go ahead, Kelly.
The book club, I don't think is fairly represented because the people who come to book club aren't here. A lot of them aren't. Like who comes regularly to book club? Who is here? Is Cheryl and Kristen and me is all I. And now
Jane.
Ben.
Oh, Jane, Glenda, we got.
Me.
No, it's funny because
Yeah, I've seen.
that's why I asked how many I could vote for, because I would be very disappointed if book club went away, but I didn't pick it because you told me I could only pick 2.
I picked 3 anyway.
Good for you.
And I'm sure someone just voted once to make your vote count even more. I knew you were going to say this. I'm okay with that. You people are not new to me, all right? My goodness. And Mandy, okay, there's a revolt now, a Trinitarian doggone revolt. Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate your input. It's all right. Any comments there? I'm trying to read the comments in the book in the side here.
I have a comment.
Kristen, go ahead.
If I may comment. I think in all the bits, I really like when people from this community share. So like we did the Meet the Artists. I wouldn't say that Meet the Artist was my favorite series of all the series, but I love, and I don't know if Edie's on tonight, like I loved when we heard from her because I feel like she's somebody I sort of kind of know from this community. And even though there were, award-winning, I forget that woman's name, although I'm on her YouTube channel now, Shelley King, like she was great and she was interesting, but it was more meaningful to hear from the artists that's in the group, the landscapers that are in this group, Barb's travel. I really like all, I would just say that a lot of the soft topics and series we have, I love when the speakers, Kwanzaa, everything. I love when the speakers come from this community. That's what I wanted to say.
No, point well taken. And it's actually, Kristen, hold that thought for next summer. We're going to have a conversation about our summer programming, which was kind of light, book club and Meet the Artist. So, you're landing on a really good suggestion there. Hold on. That you might put into the chat as something that you'd like to see us do. Okay.
Yes.
So, point taken. Fabulous. And I get that. I totally get that. Go ahead, Jeanette.
I have a couple of questions, but one's more of a comment, and that is that from observing the community of Sanctuary Online, you have incredible leadership built in. And I think it's a place where you as leaders find fellowship. And that's one of the attractions to me, is that it's a wonderful, caring community of people who have been in ministry, been in leadership, been in various positions. Like when we had that book club about State of Terror, and I had sped read through the book just because it was a sensational book. But Edie gave amazing info about running back and forth between the White House and the Pentagon, stuff that you would never, as a regular citizen, be privy to, right? So I don't know why I'm saying that specifically, but I do have questions about your demographic in terms of inviting people to Sanctuary Online. It seems like you all have one thing in common, which is either CLM or your involvement in MCC, right? MCC? Yeah. And so those two things ground all of the programming, which is so excellent. And so it's hard to pick sometimes, because I like being a participant. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm in fellowship. It's a community that's new to me. And so well, I think whatever you set your minds to do, you'll do amazing. But there's such great leadership is what I really started out to say. There's such great leadership within this whole group of Sanctuary Online that you're not going to ever lack for programming or learning about people's stories, because the stories are amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jane Ann. And it's interesting because I do believe we started out honestly local here in Austin, who was a part of the Austin church, right? And the Ken and Tom fraternity and fellowship and friendship, you know, their circle of friends. And then we've expanded. We reach out to MCC. We reach out to other folks, you know, me, I'm in 5 different businesses. So, you know, those people cross over, right? So and also we hope any one of you feels like you can invite any one of you. I mean, Glenda, you were invited by folks who know us in Toronto, right? We never knew you until someone else said, hey, Glenda, we think you might enjoy this, you know? So we really are casting as wide a net as possible. And that's actually one of our intentions underneath providing great programming and initially education and a safe place and a way to get out, right? When we were all shut down. We're still trying to cast our net wide, Jane, and meet new people and have them meet us, you know? So absolutely. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And I've got another poll for you. Dun, 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 dun. See if we all hit this one. What I'm looking for now is we do series, and we have done 2-week series. We've tried to do 3-week series, but you made it into a 4-week series. We're wondering for you, as we track attendance at these series, what might be like the perfect number of weeks? Okay. And so we're asking you there because we have some data that attendance might drop off, or, you know, like you were saying, Kristen, if you miss the 2nd week, that's when you might go and pick up. So Barb, we might go to the YouTube channel and see if during a series, we have more hits of a person watching more of one of our recordings. You know, absolutely. That was good. Hey, Onetta.
It's so hard to answer. I don't know why.
You got a Trinitarian influence now that you should
Yeah,
pick
no.
3. But
Brendan is sending out.
but if there's 4 weeks in Lent and you're doing a Lenten series, then
Right?
you know.
You got to do 4 for that.
I don't think we can settle on a specific, hang on. I don't think I can settle and answer that question because it needs to be whatever it's going to take to accomplish the series.
I agree with that.
Okay,
Lisa,
I'm voting. I'm voting
What's that?
4 and qualifying it as a not more than 4. I think a series that's longer than 4 weeks might.
It's a lot of commitment.
I think I like the way the topics change in this group, right? So I think
Yeah.
more than 4, I might be like, okay, come on, give me something new.
Yeah.
But
Kristen, I agree with that in that it's very, you kind of get excited for the next, what's
Yeah.
coming next.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not, Barb, it's not that I get bored. I think it's what Lisa just said is I'm excited for what's next. I kind of love that it's hard for me to explain to my friends what this group is.
If I could input from a marketing perspective, Kristen, that really sucks.
I know, that's why I was laughing. I realized how horrible that was.
I agree that 4 probably should be the norm, but I don't think it should be such a regimented, strict rule because there should be exceptions when it's relevant. So maybe 4 is the norm, but not like a hardcore, never more than 4.
We also have to keep in mind that the fourth Tuesday is always book club. So, you know, if we try to get 3 into 1 month and then the book club or, you know, whatever, we might have to skip a week and
We couldn't
finish
make
it.
book club a separate one, not on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yep, so there's options there. So we're gonna grab both of that. Janice, thank you. Because actually Lent is 6 weeks long, right? We're gonna break our programming and put book club in there, which might relieve the it's too many things about, you know, one topic. although it'll fit into your 4-week, which is obviously your favorite, perfect number of weeks. So thank you for that. We were concerned because of attendance drop-offs that maybe 4 was too many or 3 was too many, but it sounds like you actually like 4. So thank you for helping us be wrong about our own data.
Well, it seems like if you don't like you're not interested in the series, you'd be more likely to drop off at the end of it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the particular series that it's related to.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly.
Kelly says it wasn't the length. You just picked a shitty topic. Sorry, Kelly.
I guess you're my other sister on here, huh? We're teaching me 'cause I say things to my sister on here. No, but I think that everybody has different topics they like better or less. So I would think that would show up in your data.
I think Kristen, you hit on something though. Like a movie is never too long as you're interested and it keeps you engaged, right? I've gone to movies that were like short hour and 10 minutes, like the longest hour of my friggin' life. It just wasn't executed well, right? So you from what I've seen, limited content that I've seen so far, your content is engaging and interesting, which is incredibly important. And as long as that is continued, I think that is less of an issue than the actual number of weeks that are associated with the programming.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. See, y'all are fabulous. You're articulating and helping us. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Barb, I know you're typing away over there, capturing all this. And Kristen, we'll run the topics all by you so they don't suck. Okay. I'll just make sure that we do that going forward. So
All right, I'll check with Kelly on the side. It's good.
yeah, we'll have a little focus group. No, that one sucked. Thanks. Okay, so I want to move us from this. We have so much more to go to. We almost buddy trailed that one, but you're being great. You're doing a great job of staying on topic. I want to ask you, many of you who are here during the summer, when we started in May of 2020, and we went all through that summer, obviously, because everyone kept asking, is it over yet? Is it over yet? You know, is COVID going away next week or next month? And so we ran all the way through the summer. And we did quite a few things. Last summer, because things opened up a little bit, we chose to go every other week. And this is where people we get nervous, because if anybody of you ever used to go to church regularly, and then you stopped going one Sunday, then you're like, nah, I didn't go the next Sunday. And pretty soon you're like, I used to go to church on Sundays, you know? And so we wanted to make sure we didn't lose you if we were serving you. And so what we did is June through August, we went every other week, and we also lightened the schedule. So this is where, Christian, like you were saying, we did a series of Meet the Artist, and we had, I think, 6 different artists so they came on actually every other week. And then we had book club, which is back to, you know, Kelly and Janice, a standard favorite. And it's summertime, folks read books. And wintertime, folks read books. And springtime, folks read books. Cheryl's like, my job is reading books, you know, for Sanctuary. So we're curious of any comments around what that did for you. Did you like that we weren't every week and you could miss without missing? Did you, you know, any comments at all about our summer schedule going every other week?
I missed it.
You missed it, Janice?
When it didn't.
Yeah.
I missed it when it wasn't on.
Thank you. That's my favorite answer, but not one we're looking for. And Kristen, yeah.
I'm not real good in my brain anymore, so sometimes I forgot which week I was on.
Yeah, and
was
that's
on or off.
Yeah, and that's where Kristen's comment in the chat right now. Those texts from Barb really helped, didn't they? It said, "Don't come tonight. We're not there." Or it said, "Don't miss tonight." It's, you know, read the book. So absolutely. And yeah, Kevin, the artist, we actually had Edie, who is a sculptor who works wants to have she has a vision of helping art and working with steels and metals and things to help vets with PTSD in a healing ministry, basically. We also had a painter from Italy. We had a quilter, 2 quilters on. We had a musician on, and then we had a jewelry maker on, right? Did I hit everybody? I think I got them all. Yeah.
Got them all?
Pardon?
Yes, you got them all.
Thanks, Barb. It's a memory for me tonight. So one person saying I missed you, the rest of
Must
you.
have taken a drop for that. Did you take your brain drop?
Darcella has her hand up. I don't know if you can see it.
Darcella, go, honey.
I liked this summer schedule and seeing how I know you all and I've been there. It's probably nice for you all to have a break. But you know, summer, everybody's busy, there's stuff going on. And the fact that Barb sends out the text helps immensely to know, okay, it's on tonight, it's not on tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I think we're hearing that loud and clear, Barb. That was a great idea when we found out that our database could do that. Thanks, Darcel. And I will tell you one thing that is real important to us is what we know here is it takes as much work from all of us. And we are definitely a team. We meet all the time. Myself, Cheryl, Ken, Tom, and Barb. And it takes us as much effort on average to put on an amazing program as it does to put on a really good program, right? And so what we want to make sure is when we do have our efforts moving forward, that we're putting on exactly what folks want to attend to, what you don't want to miss, right? And yet that summer schedule did make a difference. Yeah. Facial expressions, anybody good to go? Thank you, Lisa. Great facial expression. Appreciate that. Okay, so.
Time to move on.
I'm there for you, Joby.
There you go, always. And also I love that, Kristen, it was good to come back in September, right? So again, a very seasonal event it's fall, days are getting shorter. Let's get back. And it's easier to get into Zoom when it's dark outside, right? Rather than
Yes.
when we're still going out there playing kick the can. Things that at least I do, you know, so. All right, another conversation question. And this is a little bit of what Cynthia, you already spoke to this, so we've got you in there. But what I'm wondering about is some of our thematic programming. We have done things once a month. Book club obviously has its own like fan club and rabid in that terminology, and I mean that. But we were thinking of doing Sanctuary Kitchen once a month. We did Meet the Author for a while early on, once a month, had some authors of books. We had the Meet the Artist, obviously this summer, as we just spoke about. Yes, devoted book club members. Thank you, Barb. Any comments? So what I heard from Cynthia is if I can get it somewhere else, I'd rather not get it here also. So that's cool. And don't do things too often because they might become rote or overplayed. You know, that's what I heard Cynthia say. So we've got those comments. Any other comments about those thematic programming that we do once a month or every so often?
It does seem like, let's say there's 1 week's book club and 1 week's kitchen. Then if we have a series, it's like interrupted by 2 things. So I don't know how you would work that out, but I think that y'all should have a separate series for the kitchen and a separate series for the book club, and then have 4
On every night.
There you go. 7 nights a week programming.
Sanctuary online every night of the week.
Look at Joby's face.
Yeah, I know, right? But what Kristen said earlier, I think and several others kind of talked to is that idea of, when we're taking something away and when we're sharing with each other, that seems to be the highest, which book club you're going to get that, and then again, some of the experiences that can, come to mind or come into the discussion when we're doing the meet the author, that type of thing. So as long as it doesn't stray too far away from that, I think that for me, that would be of a high value to me.
Thank you, Lisa. And we feel that, and that's been a lot of our conversation lately, is making sure no matter what we do, there's interaction, there's opportunity for conversation amongst those who show up in the community that night. Yeah, hearing that loud and clear. Thank you. Glenda?
Joby, I guess, yeah, from where I sit, I think the whole notion of themes throughout the 12-month year, it just fits, because everything, there's a cycle to time. There's a message to our year. And what I've noticed is you're very picking the appropriateness of the time. And I would love to see that continue, because it reinforces for us, the audience and the participants, where we are in our cycle.
Yeah.
That just feels really solid for me.
So when I'm hearing you say that, Glenda, I just want to confirm one thing, and I'll go to Kristen on this. So Glenda, when you're saying when we do something during Lent, and we know not everyone here is going to be interested in a spiritual, right? That's not the primary reason they come. So when we do that, we try to have a spiritual component, a teaching component, and then a community conversation component. Is that works for you? Anybody who's not here for religious purposes at all, is that okay when we do it that way? Do you get enough of what you need in the other components of that night? Thank you, Mandy. Silence is consent. Okay, thanks, Glenda. And it does help us to be a little bit seasonal. Black History Month last year, we did all the things about the Black colleges. So trying to stay socially relevant, attached to the news somewhat without getting in the news, but being relevant. Yeah, Glenda, when we first began, we said we want to be answering the questions that people are asking. That was one of the first things we did with Sanctuary Online. Can we be out there talking about and answering, giving answers to the questions people are asking, in a very